Are you a whiskey or bourbon lover, but you want to try tequila, but you want to have some familiarity, right? Corazon Single Barrel Reposado. This is the edition that they started a while back where they rest in bourbon whiskey barrels. And you have your choice of different types of barrels. This particular one is Buffalo Trace, okay? And that's the famous Buffalo Trace barrels. And this was made for the New Jersey Barrel Club. So this came from my friend Kevin Belmore over here on Long Island, who was involved in the trade. This is the Tequila Corazon de Agave. Now, this is coming out of NAM 1103. That's up in the Highlands in Jalisco. And it's at the Casa San Mateus. A well-made tequila for the most part, and a good distillery too. So this is part of this program that they started talking about like in 2015-16, and this one came out in 2018, a series. Okay, there's a bunch of them, all right, and they're not expensive, and they're perfect for people that want to check out tequila from the bourbon whiskey world, all right? Because it definitely has a lot of presence to that. I was starting to wonder if I was drinking tequila, to be honest with you. So this is the single barrel. It's 40 ABV, rested in Buffalo Trace. I've seen stuff like Weller, Eagle Rare, Blanton's. I even saw 1792. This is the Buffalo Trace. So they're all coming out of those barrels. You can pick what barrel you want to use. It's for retailers mostly, all right? So that's why you're going to see the names of stores and retailers and distributors and stuff like that on these. They buy, like a store will get together and they'll buy a whole barrel. Once the retailer picks out what barrel they'd like, the tequila will come from Casa San Mateus, from their single estate fields in Los Altos, and they produce it basically the same way. They use a stone brick oven for cooking. They use roller maceration. They use stainless steel fermentation. And it's double distilled in stainless steel pot stills and aerated. So that's what this is. This is the Corazon Single Barrel Series, all right? We're going to check this out in a few minutes. Now, before this came out, you had the Expression series. Expressiones. Oh, my goodness. These were amazing. You know, you can see Buffalo Trace here. I'm going to save this one. This is the original 2013. It's amazing. And then this one was the Sazerac. Who owns this brand? This is the Rye. These are gems, and it's not easily found, okay? After that, they come out with their regular series, which is the single barrel now, mostly for retailers and clubs and things like that. Okay, so let's check this out. All right, we have some here, and it's got the whiskey cherry notes right off the bat. It's got barrel spices, definitely nice and spicy. You guys that love whiskey and bourbon, this is your baby. I don't get much cooked agave, I'm going to be honest with you. It's got honey for sure. It's very sweet in the nose. Maybe some fruit for sure. But the barrel spices are really there. A little bit of cinnamon, maybe some vanilla, caramel. The cherry's there and the whiskey notes are there. It's a good nose. You like whiskey bourbon, you're going to love this. Really, you are. So this is people always asking me, oh, you know, coming from that world, what do you recommend? There's so many, but why don't you go in easy, not spend a lot of money? These bottles, depending on the barrels you're getting, they're only like from $29.99 to $59.99, depending where you get it. And like I say, they're all different retailers and stuff. You look for the versions you like. You'll find them. They're on liquor stores everywhere. So they're not expensive. This would be a good starting point for you guys. So yeah, the nose, that's the nose. It's a bourbon-ish whiskey nose coming from the famous Buffalo Trace distillery. I mean, all the barrels that they use for their different versions are coming from the Buffalo Trace distillery and the 1792 distillery. So this series allows these customers to select barrels that were award-winning bourbons, you know, coming from the Buffalo Trace Distillery and even the Barton 1792 Distillery. And you can pick whichever variation you like. And it's 11 months aged, this guy, in Buffalo Trace charred barrels. And that's what this one is. And as you can see the information on the back, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of good reading and stuff on here. And inexpensive way to get yourself in the door. It's whiskey and bourbonish. I don't get a lot of cooked agave at all. It is tequila that's in these barrels. So it gets mixed in and somewhat lost sometimes in these barrels. But the point is, it's a marriage of both. It's there if you go looking for it. It's going to be good. It's smooth and silky to drink, you might want to say. It's got the bourbon notes. It definitely, on the taste, it's really got a lot of honey. And spice. And fruit. And it's got a little bit of pepper. And to me, it's very woody, you know, so you can get a lot of that wood, almost like a raw wood sometimes. But you get the bourbon notes for sure. Spices there with the fruit and the whiskey notes. It's very sweet. There's no doubt about it. And honey. Listen, it's good. It's fine for what it is. I'm going to give it an 80 on Tequila Matchmaker for what it is. And the price is right. So the bourbon barrels are about 53 gallons. You get about 150 to 220 bottles, depending on the Angel's share or the evaporation, whatever you want to call it. And that's all you're going to get out of the barrel. So a club or a store buys one and you see them on shelves. It's a simple, easy tequila to drink. Perfect for whiskey bourbon people so they can be a little familiar for what they're used to. So you can't beat it for the price. And check out Corazon Single Barrel Reposado Series when you get a chance if you're interested. This is Lou Agave, Long Island Lou Tequila.